For centuries, tales of rare spices, an ancient culture, and beautiful landscapes have drawn ships across the world to this small island. Join us in the second part of Asian Air Safari's adventure through age-old Sri Lanka. I have been exploring Sri Lanka, an island filled with natural wonders and meaningful traditions. Its tropical terrain gradually rose to cool highlands as we made our way to its magnificent hill country. We arrived in the royal city of Kandy, just as it was experiencing unusually heavy rains. But that didn't stop us from exploring the last capital of the ancient Sinhalese kingdom. Unlike the Sri Lankan lowlands, Kandy was able to defy the Portuguese and Dutch for 3 centuries before it finally fell to the British in 1815. Strategically located at the thickly forested interior of the island, the mountain passes leading to its capital provided a great venue to ambush invaders. As the last bastion of colonial rule, Kandy was able to preserve its distinctive architecture, art, music, and dance. According to the legend, the Kandian dance originated from a ritual called Kohomba Kankaria, a dance first performed to purify an ancient king from an illness caused by black magic. Dressed in colorful traditional costumes, the performers' skillful combination of dance, acrobatics, and drum beats leave very few people unmoved. The routine ends with a thrilling walk on fire, which I enjoyed watching but could not imagine doing in this lifetime. What I was brave enough to learn, though, was Kandy's iconic wood carvings, one of its well-preserved art forms. I met Darshana, who taught me everything I had to know about this traditional art.
Kandy is the main city in Sri Lankan carving place, but they used to be in a temple. You know, Kandy temple is most popular place in Sri Lanka. The carving, you see in the details in the Kandy temple.
You think I can learn if I stay in Kandy?
Okay, no problem. Doesn't matter.
Kandians use different kinds of wood depending on the product they are carving. But what really piqued my interest was patangi, or rainbow wood.
Okay, and this is a wood is called the patangi. Patangi mainly is used to the natural color. Okay, in an example, this is used to paint in natural color.
Okay.
We use the patangi wood, and this one used to paint it in the chemical color, the lacquer color.
Through chemical reactions, several natural colors can be made out of a single patangi wood. Patangi's naturally orange wood shaving can be mixed with other elements like warm water, chalk.
This is calcium carbonate.
Okay.
This is chalk powder.
Yes. Oh, purple. Lime. Or stirred with an iron rod to create an array of different colors. You're not a magician, are you?
I am not the magic.
Okay. Darshana explains that natural paint seeps into the wood, produces matte color, and lasts longer. While chemical paint produces glossy finish that may fade through time. But no matter what paint they use, it is undeniable that the canyon wood carving is a Sri Lankan treasure, handed down to many generations of passionate and hard-working artisans. Since time immemorial, Sri Lanka has been known as Ratna Dwipa, or the Island of Jewels. As early as 500 BC, its people have been setting rough stones found in rivers into crude jewelry. These were bartered with foreign traders, eventually reached other parts of Asia and Europe. Of the world's 80 types of gems, Sri Lanka yields 45 kinds. The most popular and most expensive is the famous Ceylon sapphire, whose unique color and luster outshines any other sapphire. Hoping I could dig up one of these precious gems, I asked Amit to teach me how they are mined.
Wow, so this is how a mine looks like, huh?
Yes, this is the model of the mine, sir.
I see.
Tunnel are not wide like this, sir. Narrow than this. Height also very shorter than
So you
this.
have to
People
crawl.
go inside, bend in and go inside.
Wow, that's hard work and scary if you have claustrophobia.
These are the people are breaking the bearing gravels
Yes,
and collect the everything and bring up to the top of the mine.
they're the ones that
And
break
after
it.
collect that things, and people are washing that one
Yes.
with a particular basket for that. When we wash the basket, the heavy one go to the down
lower
top,
portion,
the
yes.
lower portion. The less heavy one top of the basket.
I can just imagine if I find a real nice one,
Nice.
I
Actually,
can run out and say, I got it.
After mining, the gemstones are cut and polished.
So in the past, they were using this, they were using the other hand to polish the gems. Ooh, I can't even let it move. This would be really hard work.
Strong competition forced Sri Lanka to acquire modern technology so they could produce perfectly cut gems that are at par with other markets.
these are the passage number.
Yes.
Passage number. Here is the angle. He is following these numbers to cut and polish the stones.
I'm worried that if I do it, I cut so much, you lose money every day.
Yes, definitely. Cut is very important part of the gemstones.
Ah, very interesting.
The gems undergo a complete transformation after this process. From the raw materials, which I probably wouldn't recognize if I see lying on the road, the stones are turned to jewelry worthy of royal courts from around the globe.
And was it Princess Diana who
This color. This color
is what
stone.
Princess Diana has, huh?
Ring like this. Ring like this, $3,400. This is $48,000.
$48,000. Can I run?
This made me wonder if I should just migrate to Sri Lanka and become a treasure hunter. But one treasure that most Sri Lankans consider very precious can be found here in Kandy, at the Temple of the Tooth, or Sri Dalada Maligawa, home to the sacred relic of the Tooth of Buddha, an item of veneration for all Buddhists. The Tooth Relic is said to have been snatched from Buddha's funeral pyre and was smuggled from India to Sri Lanka by concealing it in the hair of a princess. It is believed that whoever has the relic holds the power to rule the land. Through the years, innumerable kings, princes, and monks have struggled to keep this treasure from falling in the hands of hostile men. Today, the relic is kept in a heavily guarded golden casket inside the temple and attracts both pilgrims and tourists from all over the world. Barefoot and clad in white, devotees flock to the temple to offer flowers and prayers. But the most number of pilgrims congregate in Kandy in August, the month of Esala, to celebrate one of the oldest and grandest Buddhist festivals in Sri Lanka. Esala Perahera is an annual 10-day procession of traditional dances and elegantly adorned elephants. On the final night, a replica casket of the sacred tooth is paraded around the city on the back of the Maligawa tusker. Up next, we descend to Sri Lanka's dry plains to explore its natural and historic wonders. As I explore more of Sri Lanka, I found myself in the small farming town of Welawaya. One can pass this area and not realize that amidst these farmland and natural forests lies a unique eco-luxury resort, Jetwing Keta, the latest link in the family-owned hotel chain, allows guests to experience the culture and daily life of this traditional farming community. Waking up right next to the rice paddies, hearing the birds, and seeing this mountain in front of me is just very refreshing. True to its commitment to protect nature, all Jetwing hotels have resident naturalists who work with local communities to create distinctive and elegant lodgings that complement the environment. I was fortunate to meet with the hotel's assistant manager, Hasanta, who was more than happy to explore the area with me. Historic treasures are scattered all over Sri Lanka, even in its smallest towns. In nearby Maligawala, we found the ruins of Kanagama, an ancient village for the blind built in 7th century AD. Its main attraction is this 43-foot tall monument.
This is the tallest freestanding Buddha statue in Sri Lanka in ancient history. Because when you say tallest freestanding, it was standing on his feet without support from back or anywhere else.
The intricate sculpture was discovered in 1951, already broken down into several pieces. But local engineers worked hard to restore it to its former glory. The same restoration was done to this statue, which stands just a few hundred meters away.
This is the Bodhisattva statue. Bodhisattva statue means Buddha to be.
Oh, so not yet Buddha.
Not yet Buddha.
That one was a Buddha already, yes.
And with Mahanic influence, they are believing Bodhisattvas.
I see.
And Bodhisattva statues is believing as a healing god.
As a healing god.
Yeah.
Legends say that this sculpture also lends a hand to the helpless. I thought I would need his blessing as I set off to my next adventure. A treacherous hike to this majestic site. Sri Lanka is a country full of natural wonders. And behind me is the Aluma Falls. It's the second tallest falls in the country. In Sinhalese, the Aluma means rapid flow of water or liquid light. It is the setting of a tragic folklore about a king and a woman from a lower caste whose runaway romance up this cliff led to the girl's death. Moved by pity, a deity collected the king's tears and turned them into this waterfall. Since I had no intention of reaching the same fate, I took the long way up.
Well, we've been climbing now for more than an hour, and it's very high. And they say that the elephants, look at these mud marks. They say that the elephants come here and rub their backs. And they're wild ones. I hope I don't get to meet one on the way. The passage is too narrow for the two of us. We're both fat. Uh-oh. More signs of elephant presence in this area. I now have to be really careful.
I may be tired and out of breath, but I am enjoying just communing with nature. I just have to keep pushing on.
I think I'm getting closer. I'm almost at the top of the mountain. Oops! I actually didn't fall in the waterfalls. I just slipped and fell. Look how beautiful this thing is, huh? Look at all those rocks, all these trees. I'm all by myself. This is really being one with nature.
Since I was already up the hill, I thought I would stroll around a bit more and enjoy the view.
There are numerous pools in the area. There's one over there, another one there, another one here. But that one is my infinity pool.
Alone in the wilderness, atop this unspoiled wonder, I'm reminded by how small I am in this big, big world. And made me ask myself, how many more of Earth's many hidden treasures can I possibly discover? Up next, we see more of the small island's diverse environments and abundant natural wealth. Sri Lanka, formerly known as Ceylon, has made its mark for its world-class product, tea. As the world's fourth largest producer of this beverage, its central highlands are covered with long stretches of tea plantations. Still with Jetwing's assistant manager Hasanta, we visit one of the country's many tea estates, which are said to provide employment to at least 1 million people.
Asan, you were saying earlier that tea is not endemic here in Sri Lanka.
No, actually tea is introduced during British period when British control in Sri Lanka. In early 1800 years, mainly in central highlands in Sri Lanka.
But what is the magic of Sri Lankan soil and mountain that makes the tea so perfect?
Yeah, one thing is we have fertile soil, fertile ground. Before introducing tea, there was completely rainforest and mountain rainforest area.
So it was all jungle.
All jungle. And other important thing is where Sri Lankan tea have a specialty, we are doing hand pick, plucking by the hand.
Yes, I've seen. And is there a style of plucking it?
Maybe I can show you the one.
Yeah.
Yes, here this.
Okay.
When you have 3 buds,
Yes.
this is the first one,
Yes.
this is second, this is third.
Okay.
You are plucking like
Only the 3.
first 2 and 2.5 like this
Yes.
from here.
Oh, you don't even
You don't even
take the last one.
Yeah, mainly you are taking the bud and this one.
Aside from the expertise of these women, the humidity, cool temperatures, and rainfall in the area provide the climate needed to produce high-quality tea. Traveling around Sri Lanka made me realize that the small island had many diverse environments. From rolling hills and treacherous cliffs, we go south to enjoy the pleasant weather in this coastal town. The Dutch fort in Galle, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is considered as the best preserved sea fort in South Asia. It served as the seat of power to every European nation who had conquered the country. Strategically located within its walls is Sri Lanka's oldest light station, the Galle Lighthouse, which was used to get a full view of any ship entering the harbor. Centuries later, the old world town remains to be the city of trade and art. Walking around town, with its narrow streets and colonial hotels, boutique shops and cafes, felt like stepping back in time. But since all I have done in the past few days was walk, I thought I would enjoy some quiet time by the beach and maybe catch a few fish using a unique Sri Lankan method called stilt fishing.
No one really knows how stilt fishing started, but they say that they probably ran out of rocks to perch on. That's why they started fishing on stilts. Maybe I should try this out.
Stilt fishermen sit on a crossbar called peta, which stands a few meters offshore. From here, they cast their lines and wait until a fish comes along.
Well, the birds were catching more fish than I was. They were diving and swooping down on the fish while I was trying my best to hook one, but I guess I was not meant to fish.
What I've always been meant to do is fly. Here in Galle is the site of one of the most historic feats of aviation. In 1943, the British Air Ministry formulated a daring plan to re-establish the Australian-England air link that had been cut by Japanese forces.
During World War II, the British lost its refueling points in this region. To keep communication open between the colonies, they flew a PBY Catalina from Perth all the way here to Ceylon, non-stop. It was called the Double Sunrise Flights.
The 20 to 32-hour flights were perfectly timed so that the aircraft would fly over Japanese territory during darkness. Pilots also had to use celestial navigation to maintain radio silence. Back then, this 5,652-kilometer hop over the Indian Ocean was the longest non-stop passenger flight in the world. Passengers and pilots aboard these flights received certificates from the Order of the Double Sunrise to attest that they had been airborne for more than 24 hours. If I were already alive when these happened, I would have been the first person to sign up for the flights. After a long day of traveling, I retreat to Jetwing Lighthouse, located in the fringe of the colonial town. Designed by renowned Sri Lankan architect Jeffrey Bawa, the hotel exudes an old-world charm of grace and minimalism. Hearing the waves crash into shore, watching the smiles of the guests as they play a round of cricket, and feeling the wind on my skin, I felt that Jetwing Lighthouse was nothing short of a tropical haven. For a land of its size, Sri Lanka's unbelievably diverse landscapes, ancient culture and long history is truly fascinating. It is no wonder that travelers throughout world history were drawn to its shores. And what they found was a land of incredible richness, a society deeply connected with its faith and with nature. Sri Lankans are a people of great talent, hospitality, warmth, and welcoming smiles. That I had the most incredible fortune of meeting.
This has been your captain, Joy Roa. See you in the next Asian Air Safari. Thank you.